Hello everyone. In today's video, we will discuss about the lesson Should Wizard Hit Mommy by John Hoyer Updike from our book Vistas. John Hoyer Updike. He was born in 1932 and died in 2009. He was an American novelist, poet, short story writer, art and literary critic. He is famous for his books Rabbit is Rich and Rabbit at Rest. He won Pulitzer Prize in 1982 and 1990 respectively. Introduction to the lesson. Should Wizard Hit Mommy? It is a story about the worldview of a little child and the difficult moral question she raises during the story session with her father. The story revolves around Jack, who is the father of two kids, John and Bobby. His wife Claire is carrying their third child. Jack had a habit of telling his daughter Jo a story every evening and on Saturday afternoon naps. This time, when he was telling her a story, she interrupts him and asks him questions whenever she feels that things that are being told are not right. So Jack now finds himself in a fix and doesn't know how to resolve Joe's questions. Parents feel that children should do or think exactly what they are told. They should believe whatever they are told by their parents. But is this the right attitude? This moral question is raised by the story and left for the reader to decide what should be done. Main characters, as we have already discussed in introduction also, John, a 4-year-old girl also called as Joe, Jack, father of Joe, Claire, wife of Jack and mother of Joe, Skunk, a creature with a bad smell, Mother Skunk, mother of baby skunk, Owl, a wise creature, Wizard, a magician. Summary of the lesson. The story starts with the daily routine that Jack had been following for 2 years with his daughter Jo. His daughter was 2 years old when the tradition started, and today she was 4 years old. The tradition was that Jack would tell Joe a story out of his mind every day in the evening before going to bed, and also on every Saturday afternoon during her nap time. Now, the issue was that it had been so long that he had been telling her stories that he didn't have any good ideas for stories left with him. Even Joe didn't sleep during the story sessions anymore. So every day, when he used to tell her a story, the basic plot of the story used to be seen, revolving around Roger, an animal who used to change every day. Roger used to have a problem and he would approach the wise owl for help, who would send him to the wizard. The wizard would solve Roger's problem but ask for more pennies than Roger had and would also give him a solution to go fetch the pennies from a specific place. Then Roger would go to that place, fetch the pennies, and would happily go back and play with his friends. After playing happily with his friends, Roger would go back home before it got dark to wait for his father, who would be on his way back from Boston. Then Jack would describe what all Roger and his family had for dinner and then end the story. So, this used to be the plot for every story which Jack narrated to Joe. It means there is a story within a story. In the plot of the lesson, should wizard hit mommy, Joe, uh, Jack is narrating the story to Joe. Okay, and the story which is narrated by Jack, it is the story that is the part of the long story. Now, on this specific Saturday afternoon nap, Jack asked Joe that about which creature did she want to hear a story, to which she replies a skunk. So, Jack started the story with Roger's skunk. Skunk, it is a cat-sized animal which gives a bad smell. None of his friends liked to play with him. Why? Because of his bad smell. One day he went to the wise owl, as happens in all the stories, and shared his problem. The wise owl then told him to go visit the wizard. Then the skunk went to the wizard and shared his problem. You can see the skunk, it is a cat sized animal and it carries black and white color. And this is the wizard who has long white beard and a blue hat. The wizard then helped him to solve his problem and asked him how he wanted to smell. To this, Roger Skunk replied that he wanted to smell like roses did. With the wizard's magic, he started smelling like roses. Then he didn't have enough pennies to pay to the wizard. So wizard told him to go to the magic well, turn around 3 times, and he would find 3 pennies there which he could fetch and give to the wizard. The skunk did exactly what was told and got the wizard his pennies. Later, he went out and all the other animals gathered around him as he was smelling very good. But when he went home, his mother didn't like the smell and asked who had made him smell like that. Roger Skunk told the whole story to his mom, and his mother said that she liked his smell earlier and he smelled the way a little skunk was supposed to smell. The skunk told his mom that the other animals ran away from him because of the foul smell, but his mom said that she didn't care. She took him right back to the wizard, and as soon as the wizard opened the door, she gave him one blow on his head with her umbrella, and the wizard changed the skunk's smell and he smelled foul again. While going back, the skunk heard the train coming. His father was coming on that train. They had dinner together. When the skunk was about to sleep, his mother came to him and told him that she loved him the way he was and there was no need to change. The story ended there. Then Joe asked her father whether the animals ran away from the skunk after that, to which he replied no. All of them had now got used to the way he smelled. Joe didn't like the way Skunk's mother forced him and made him smell foul again. She wanted that her father should tell her another story the next day in which the wizard hits mommy back and refuses to change the skunk's smell back. Then Jack told her that he would see. And the main point of the story was that the skunk loved his mother more than any other animal in the woods and that Mommy knew what was right for him. He then told her to sleep as her baby brother was also sleeping. He then closed the door and went downstairs. His wife was painting the chair rail. He heard some footsteps above and then scolded Joe. The footsteps fainted. Then Claire asked him that it was a long story And to that he replied, "The poor kid." Then he watched his wife to the painting and working, but he was very tired to help her. Also, he thought that their marriage was not in a good state and also that there was no solution to it. He also said that he didn't feel like talking to her, not touching her. So, this was the summary of the story. Message: the author conveys a very important message for both parents and children. It addresses the issue of difference of attitude towards life, which erupts from the way in which they perceive each other, everyone being right in his approach. A child has a limited perception of life. Her surrounding is limited up to her parents, teachers, and friends, whereas the parents, they have a very wide perception of life and consider many issues while interacting with their child. The children often misinterpret their parents' attitude and behavior, and that is when the parents become strict with them. This weakens the bonding between them. Parents, being elders, should understand the feeling of their children, share them, and mold them with love. Theme: the story raises a moral issue. If the parents should always decide what the children should do, children dream and live in their own magical world. They are devoid of despise, ugliness, and petty differences. They are pure at heart. The story raises a moral question at this point: should Wizard hit mommy? Joe feels that he must. Jack says that it would be wrong because a mommy is always right. She should be loved and respected. Title: the title Should Wizard Hit Mommy is apt and justified as the story revolves around the questions of understandings. Here, the question mark in the title focuses the reader's attention on two well wishers of the main character, Roger Skunk. Here, the little girl, Jo, wants the wizard to hit mommy, but according to her father, what the parents think is always right for their children. The child's thinking is simple and innocent. She fails to understand that her father wants to convey that mothers are above all blame. That's why Joe's passionate demand: tomorrow I want you to tell me the story that wizard took the magic wand and hit the mummy is met by the father's reply: no, that's not the story. Hence, the author intentionally gives the story open ended and the title has the question mark, leaving it for the readers to decide whether the wizard hit mommy or spared her. So, this is all about the story. Thank you. Thank you so much.